Oh my god, that was so hard. Like, we had to switch browsers and all kinds of shit. Not that anybody's watching anyway, at all. Should we wait?
Can you even tell people are
Yeah,
watching?
see?
Oh, okay.
There's like
Maybe
no
if
one
we
watching it. So we'll just wait a minute and like print and stuff. Now, look, it says you can edit. Or how do I do the microphone thing to make it better? Oh my god. Like, so there's like one person. Okay. One's better than nothing.
Hello, one person. I don't know if they're able to type in the chat.
Maybe not. But anyway, for whoever is happening to be watching, maybe you're in the Indiana Center for Recovery or not. They left. Okay. Bye. No, they're back. Anyway, this channel is going to do a lot more personal stuff for recovery and whatnot, because I just got out of the Indiana Center for Recovery. I am a recovering addict. I was addicted to fentanyl for 4 years, and I wanted to talk about like kind of what it was like my first few days being released, and like stuff that like they're not really going to talk to you about in like group or whatever while you're there. So this is going to be candid, maybe a little raw, probably not suitable for young kids. So if that's who's watching, please don't. So
half of it is just going to be us talking to you, unless you can type in the little chat
which
box.
I doubt you can, considering like how it is in the TVs. You can't really even sign into your own shit. But anyhow, so to our one faithful soul watching us right now, I got released a couple of days ago. I did the program, I completed the program, and I came home. Nothing in any way, shape, or form could have prepared me for that day and that moment of actually coming home. Yes, I wanted to come home and I couldn't wait to get out of there, but at the same time, like, honestly, nothing prepared me for how I was going to feel walking down the street, going to the pharmacy to pick up my medications, any kind of shit like that. And I wanted to talk more about that so that people could kind of get a feel for what's actually happening out there and how it really is.
I think the most important thing is day one, just getting some rest and then reorganizing your room.
Oh my god. So let's talk about day one. So I left the center at like, wow, dude, like 8:30 in the morning, and it was like stupid early. I was barely like consciously aware because it was like one cigarette break in, and I had to grab all my shit and get the fuck out. Was I happy to leave? Yes. I cried like a baby because I missed every single one of you, and it was unbelievable. Like, I've never made friends like that before in my life. And there are some people that I owe my life to right now. And this is me kind of trying to pay it forward and say that, like, the friendships and things that you make in that place are valid and they are important, and continue them after you leave. Some of us don't have families, and some of us don't have, like, support groups other than, like, our person. And by the way, this is the famous Willow that I talked about every day. This is my person, my my wonderful jetpack, who jetpacks me at night because you're so much shorter than me.
5'4.5". By the way, I'm not that short.
I'm like way taller than you.
By like 2
Facts.
inches. You're fucking taller than me by 2 inches.
But so I got home like stupid early because I actually had I'm not from Indiana, so I had actually like no fucking idea like how far Bedford, which is nowhere, was from Bloomington. It actually took me less time.
Bedford looks like it's in a constant, like, sad camera filter, to be honest.
It does. Outside of the center, Bedford looks like it's like everybody's camera phone is set to sad. It's just like a weird.
It's like watching any video from like a Russian point of view. It's just set to
It
sad
just looks.
constantly.
It just looks destitute, man. Like there's nothing there. Not to slam Bedford or anything, but like
It's a kind of slam Bedford.
Kind of. There's like kind of nothing going on there. But so I get home and immediately like have an emotional breakdown because I haven't seen my person in days and days and days, and I have like this complete panic attack, like I guess you could say like a complete freak out panic attack, and it was just like completely just overwhelming. It was that's the best word I could describe like day one is overwhelming, and you have to handle yourself with a little bit of care when it comes to that because
I feel like not so much care more as it's like giving yourself a break. Like you don't have to be a superhero when you first get out. It's okay to just kind of be lazy and lay there.
it is okay. And I didn't do a whole lot on my first day, although I felt like I needed to do a million things because when you get out you feel like you're like you need to do a million things because like it's so hard, and you have so much going on that like you didn't get accomplished in the past like 14-30 days or however long you're in the program. Like it just seems like you
were
have
in for 17, right?
Was I don't even know. Like I went see let me give you some backstory and context. So it was day 3 of withdraw, like detox, like on our own. We were trying to do it cold turkey, which I cannot stress enough. Like if you were on the drugs that I was on, doing it cold turkey was the stupidest idea I think I've ever had. Second to acid dropping off of a reservoir back in the day with my old pal Ern. I love you, Ernie. Back in the day, and shattering my hip like a stupid skateboarder kid would do. We're a little bouncier back in the day. But anyhow, so little context is I called the number off the internet. I read the Google reviews, and that's what kind of told me like, hey, this might be the place, because it said like like zero judgment. Like my biggest fucking fear was gonna be like that I was gonna get judged and immediately looked at like some junkie, like some complete piece of trash, and just treated like not even human the entire time. However,
When she was picked up in the morning, early in the morning.
which I might add, Corey from the Bloomington facility is a rock star. Is an absolute save my life rock star who I went to the Bloomington facility last night just to try to catch him, hoping he was working. He wasn't, unfortunately, because I wanted to like bear hug the shit out of him. I have never met staff or anybody that has been so caring and so kind and so good to me in my life. And I'm a cancer patient. I've been in hospice care, I've been in cancer wings, and I've always been treated like a fucking freak. I get it. I know what I look like. I'm tatted the fuck up, and I am like, fucking post-op trans. So that has a thing. There's a stigma there, and there's a thing going on, and that's okay. But let me be the first person to say that this place never, ever, ever made me feel out of control, like disrespected in that manner. I can't speak for the Bloomington facility because I didn't go there, but I did go to South Bend. Context on that, I got put in high psych for like a week, which was not on purpose. That was kind of a mistake, but kind of helpful in its own way. Because I was detoxing, as context, let me say, my drug of choice was fentanyl. I was addicted to the pretty little blue M30 dirty 30s, and I took
A lot.
I mean, let's just say a lot. I mean, I want to say, like, I want to give you a number, but that would be inaccurate.
It was a lot too much for any normal person to handle.
I should have
and
died like a million times over. And the thing about, like, addiction is you don't really realize, like,
Take the chat.
oh my God, it's Lacey and Evan. They're in the
Click on
chat.
the chat so I can type.
Yeah, I'm going to click on the chat so we can talk to you guys. So check this out. Like, I was taking somewhere around like 40 or 50 fentanyl pills a day, along with like 60 benzos, like bars, like Broma bars, like a gram or so of Molly, and like a half ounce of Coke. And like, man, no one on earth should ever do that amount of drugs. I'm not advocating for people to try to do that kind of shit, but like, for real, that was a lot. That was a whole fuck of a lot of drugs, and I shouldn't have done it. But going through that DT at 72 hours cold turkey, I was literally trying to rip my own skin off, and I felt like I was going to die. And I found the Indiana Center for Recovery online, and to be 100% honest, I chose it because of the fucking Google reviews. Like, I know that sounds like completely stupid, but
Google reviews, like the picture for the Bedford one, looks so terrifying and ominous. I was kind of scared to sit into it
but there were like some pictures in there that made me feel like I was about to go to like celebrity rehab. So I kind of felt like a rock star for a minute, and it was cool because like I did like feel like kind of, I don't know, like it was above my like socioeconomical status. I did get put in like this executive suite, big huge suite, because I couldn't have a roommate because I'm PTSD'd the hell out, and like I think that was more for them, not for me. Like, you wouldn't want to be locked in a room with me at night, trust me. Not when I'm like DTing and PTSD'd out. But truth of the matter is I did a week in high psych, and then I got transferred to Bedford. The moment I got to Bedford,
Why don't you just talk about the 3-hour car ride you had to take?
Oh my God.
You're rock and roll puking, man. You
so,
threw up like a rock star.
That was a moment, dude. So check this out. Corey drove me halfway to South Bend, which, by the way, I didn't even know South Bend was a place. It sounded like some fucking Final Fantasy place that isn't real. And like halfway there, we stopped in Kokomo, Indiana, which sounds like an island town, which doesn't really exist. I switched cars with this chick from the South Bend place. At 30 minutes after I get in her car, she has to pull over, and I'm like throwing up like a champ, like straight up rock star off the stage, like rock and roll, like just throwing up, man, like some Motley Crue shit.
But you couldn't keep down anything, so
not even water.
It was nothing. It was just the sound of puke. You ever throw up so hard you have nothing left to throw up, and it's just like
yellow, man. It's just straight bile. It's just totally disgusting. And I'm like looking at this lady because I didn't make it out of the door on the first throw up. I told her like I gotta throw up, but there was traffic going on and shit, so like she couldn't get over fast enough. So I like threw up on I'm trying to catch it in my hands like a dumbass. Like, I don't want to mess with this car. It's so nice. And I'm like, just all like, and then I like, throw up and just dry heave for like 10 minutes out the door. And the whole time I'm like thinking, oh my God, this lady's gonna kill me for throwing up in this car. Like, I totally like just ruined this SUV. And she's just like, you don't have anything to apologize for. Super sweet lady. What a rock star, though. And she even sped. Fucking broke the law and sped to get me there fast enough to get me to get some Suboxones in my system and, like, get some shit done. You know what I mean? Because, like, holy fuck balls, I was sick.
Okay, so Lacey, instead of just typing out hi and all the gay shit, it's nice to meet you. I've heard so much about you. I'm sure you've heard plenty about me because she doesn't shut up about me. She doesn't shut up about you guys. She talks about you guys all the time.
It's because these are
in
the
love
coolest.
With you.
I am. Evan is a fucking rock star, and Lacey is like a queen, dude. It's unreal. And so I throw up in the car on the way up there like a whole bunch of times. They get me there, and I didn't even realize where I was. Like I was in high psych for 2 days before I even figured out like I'm got myself seriously grippy, sticky socked, like way farther than I thought I was gonna go. So I'm in high psych, and I'm talking to the doctor like, "Why am I in high psych?" And he's like, "I don't know." And I'm like, "Well, if you don't know, then how am I supposed to know?" So it's a big clusterfuck. But I got
I
shit.
think someone just said the wrong magic words.
I think I said the magic words during the interview phone call, something along the lines of like the usual sad girl shit, like
12 gauge for breakfast.
self harm,
Yeah.
something stupid like that. But anyhow, so I get to the Bedford place. Montana comes and picks me up, which, by the way, Montana is like, I love that woman. She is amazing. She listened to
I
some
got
of
to
my.
meet Brandy yesterday.
That's true.
Lacey, you were in the facility with Brandy, right?
Brandy is a rock star. Brandy is like one of the coolest techs there. Yesterday we drove down to Bedford. It was a little late, so everybody was kind of already on their sleepy time meds. And it's not like I can just like walk back on the wing and say hi to people because you know how that goes. But anyways, I brought like 4 bags of clothes so that people would have shit to wear.
We brought 4 bags of clothes, and our closet is still
overflowing with a bunch of stupid shit. But we took a bunch of Killstar shit, which this is all Killstar stuff. Shout out to Killstar for
This is just a crop top.
letting me model for them and stuff and giving me lots of cool shit. But so Bedford. Let's talk about Bedford. Bedford is such a new facility that I feel like we all grew together because like half the fucking shit at Bedford was brand new and nobody knew what they were doing, but they did everything they could to make it like the best experience possible. And the cool thing is as soon as I got there, I felt like I was the bad person. I didn't want to talk to anybody, which is pretty standard after watching more new people come in.
She's just edgy and antisocial.
I'm a fucking edgelord, and I thought that like talking to people, I would ruin their rehab or like fuck up their progress or whatever. So I ended up talking to people, and actually, Lacey and Evan, you two were some of the first people I talked to, and made me feel at home. And without having like made friends with you and Jason and hell, even fucking Bob, and you know who I'm talking about, fucking Bob. Like, even without having made
Who's
friends
Bob?
with, it's not Bob, it's fucking Bob.
Who's fucking Bob?
Fucking Bob might as well have been like, I don't know, like a decoration to that place. He had been there so long that I think that dude was part of the program.
Part of the curriculum.
Yeah, but he's actually like, he went on his way. He cried when he left because I think he just didn't know what he was gonna do. You know, it was kind of tough. But
Bob's the one was like 60, right?
Bob was an older dude. He had some. Lacey actually braided some beads in his hair, which gave him a little bit more of a cool factor going on. So he didn't look quite as like
scary.
Yeah, you know, kind of had that like scary Republican hate you vibe kind of thing. And for somebody like me,
FYI, I have heard about the Trump lady.
yeah, let's not talk about that.
Okay.
In case she actually watches the shit later. But anyway, like, so I get to Bedford, right? And I meet Lacey, I meet Evan, I meet Jason, I meet Nicole. I love you, girl. I can't wait to talk to you. And I meet Allie, and I meet all these cool ass people, and like they just kind of somehow, you guys cracked a shell that no one else could. When I put that angsty wall up, you know how hard it is to break that down. But these people wouldn't take no for an answer, and they just broke me down.
How could they take no for an answer? You're so fucking cool in the first place.
But I didn't think so, and I have this self-esteem issue thing.
It's
that
gotten
I'm still
better.
On.
It's gotten better.
It has. I'm still working on it, but like, I really wanted to focus this first stream on the idea about like, it is absolutely fucking terrifying your first like 2 days there. And if you're thinking
It doesn't
about
get better till like day 3.
no,
It's like a
and
withdrawal
honestly,
itself.
if you're thinking about getting help because you have like an addiction, like if somebody watches this video as a saved video later or something, like just know that like this is the place. This is the place that will save your life. Because it saved mine. I'm alive today because of Lacey, because of Evan, because of Jason, because of all those people that I met in that place. I'm alive and I'm drug free and I'm alive and actually living. There's a big difference between being alive and living. And being alive is, yeah, you are respirating, you're eating, you're sort of eating, you exist. But then there's like living. Like we walked today and got some Mexican food. We did some walking around. Like it's just nice to feel like freedom. That kind of I'm not tethered to this anymore.
I convinced a guy to buy us Mexican food while we were walking down. It was awesome.
It's actually quite incredible how that happened.
I'm really good at convincing people to do things.
That's a different story for another stream. But life is crazy. And you have to make that choice and that call. And when I got out of rehab, I thought life would just go right back to like this like sense of normalcy that I had. That's not true. That's not
like
true, and not
in the first place.
Not even in the slightest though. Because here's the thing. I got out and was like so overwhelmed that I probably cried like how many times did I cry that day?
I actually counted. Do you want the number?
I do, actually.
42.
Fuck. Okay, well that was a bit higher than I thought it would be, but
she
like
was dehydrated afterwards.
I was dehydrated afterwards. I was crying because I was happy. I was crying because I was nervous. I was crying because I was overwhelmed. I was sad because I missed everybody. And there's so many emotions that you have to wade through just to like get to where you're at to establish a homeostasis like when you get home. But it is possible.
We had another person join the chat.
Hello, other person. They might be watching actually in there and they can't type. So if you're in the Indiana Center for Recovery, I love you so much. And from the bottom of my heart, like it means the world to me that I had a chance to meet you and that you will never be forgotten. I'm alive because of all of you. The therapy sessions happen in the smoke wreck yard. That's where my real therapy happened. And as personally, I also want to say that in another stream, I'm going to cover this way deeper. I was abused by alcoholics all my life. And I had never met an alcoholic not abusing me. But I had a chance to see it from the other side. And I'm hoping that some of my music that I've created over my life, and I played some of it for a lot of you, that addressed that, like made a difference.
And joined a band.
I did indeed join a band. I am not going to talk about that yet because I don't have the PR release for that. But just know that it is a semi-famous band that you probably have heard of. I am replacing a guitarist that is retiring. And we will be doing a tour and stuff. But just know that my stage name, this should give you a hint about what band I joined, is going to be Queen 512. Think about it. Think about it. And this is my little gesture of death. She is also going to be part of that band. And it's going to be some really...
I get to sing really creepy in a high voice on stage. It's going to be awesome.
You're really awesome, though. But so what I really wanted to talk about today in this first stream is it's been 2 or 3 days and it's been rough, man. It has not been a cakewalk. I don't want to lie to you people and say like, oh, it was great, man. I got home and shit was perfect and life was peachy fucking keen. No, it's not, man.
A good thing to do when you get back, especially after being institutionalized or in a rehab for a while, is when you do come home, like, cry it out. And after you're done crying out, maybe pick up the trash and rearrange your room.
It is absolutely paramount that you cry it out. Like, what I had to do was completely rearrange my room and rearrange my shit. It may not look like very organized at the moment. But in comparison to what it was, how I left it after my drug binge, and this is part two of this. See this little thing? This is my antipsychotic med that they put me on from the gene swab. Nailed it on the first try, and this is the right medication for me. And as it's 10 o'clock, like a good girl, I'm going to take my fucking meds.
Do you guys want to meet our cat?
Yes, they
Somebody
do.
has to type yes in the chat if you want to see the cat.
You want to see Beans? Does anybody want to meet Beans? Beans is the shit. He's a really cool dude. Maybe they can't type. It's fine.
I'm gonna go grab
him. But let me be the first to say that, like, it's okay to freak out on your first and second day out. I did. I cried nonstop. Not only from missing everybody because I finally made friends, real friends for the first time in my life in years, but also because, like, it's overwhelming. And this is Beans.
This is Beans, Senor Frijoles.
When he's an asshole, he is Senor Frijoles.
And
which
he
is
talks
typically
a lot. Scream.
Beans.
Scream.
Beans. You're gonna make me look stupid though. Anyway, there you go. Beans. Beans.
Who's standing on the keyboard? Okay.
Stop. He's gonna do something wrong. Turn the volume up, son. There we go. So anyway, I just want you to know that, like, I love you all. And, like, I want us to build a YouTube channel support group where we can stream together. Kind of like do group sessions like we used to on the rec yard smoking.
Like Zoom.
Like Zoom.
We could just start a Zoom thing.
Because I need you. This stream was for me to tell you guys just how much I actually need you.
And she's in love with you.
And I am in love with all of you. I need you guys, and I need you guys in my life. And I need you guys to, like, be a part of that. And I don't want to lose anybody. I don't want to, like, watch anybody disappear. And we have to... Go ahead. We have to be here for one another. And even though I'm only talking to, like, one viewer, if you watch this video later on the channel, it's going to be there. If you make it this far, it's like a really long fucking video. I get it. Nobody has an attention span. But from the bottom of my heart, like, let's all create a group chat or something, you know, and let's make this happen. I need your support, and I want to be there to support you because I don't want to go back to that life. I was a zombie. I was an absolute zombie. Look at my face now. I actually have weight in my face. I gained weight. And you want to hear something really crazy? I went in there with stage 4 cancer. They gave me a year and a half to live. That was 6 months ago. I had my cancer checked. And I'm in remission. I get a chance. I get a chance to fucking live. And I think it's because of all of you. I think you healed me and gave me the opportunity to be a person again and to be alive. And I'm sorry for crying. And I'm sorry for being so emotional, but it is what it is. But I'm in remission. I didn't think that... I thought I was going to die this time. This would have been my 3rd time. Man, you only get so many shots and wake-up calls, and this was a big one. This was massive. You know, I plan to go work for that place and do a music program there and everything, but just know that, like, take your meds. Fucking work the program, trust the process, and life is so much bigger than that addiction or that bottle, that pill and that line. It's bigger, and it sounds preachy and cheesy, and I'm not one of those people, man. I've been partying and doing this shit since the 90s. I'm old as fuck, and I've been doing this for so long that, like, that's kind of all I've ever known. It's just being a skater hooligan, snorting Molly off my fucking board, and finding some place to tag and get in trouble. But I don't have to live that life anymore. I'm at that age where I can try to settle down and like have a real life. And I don't want to keep this going on forever and ever because it's our first one. But pretty much like every other day, we're gonna try to stream between 9:30, 10 o'clock ish, something like that, as a check-in. And I would really appreciate it if you would reach out to us, send us a message on the channel, and if we know you, we want to give you our number so that you can call me anytime if you feel like you're gonna slip. If you just feel like you want to talk, or if your self-harm comes up, or anything like that, please reach out to me or her.
One of us is
Because
gonna respond.
not only am I a victim of my own self-harm in so many ways and so many scars, my wife is beautiful, but she's had her own issues, and they're absolutely gorgeous. I kiss her scars all the time because they're her tiger stripes. They make her strong. Nobody's perfect, man.
I don't think anybody should be ashamed of scars in the first place. I think it adds a uniqueness to your character.
And we're also going to start doing some music stuff on here and talking about like the upcoming stuff that I got going on with music and the label and everything else. And I got you, Evan. You owe me, buddy. Like, I want you on this label. I want you playing music. But I hopefully get to see you guys because you guys are in Bloomington. So I hope to see you guys this weekend. You know what I mean? But just please reach out to somebody. If it's not me, get some numbers for some other people in there. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and I get that, man. Like, that's cool. But I will listen. I'll go have coffee with you in the middle of the night. I don't give a fuck. Whatever you want to do, like, just if it keeps you from relapsing, then I'm here for it, man. I'm here for you. And from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much. And I know that my wife thanks and loves you all for taking care of her little bun bun.
Very much so.
Because I was scared and nervous in there, and I don't make friends easily. I don't socialize well. But I feel like I made friends, and it matters.
And it's nice to hear her talk about people that are a good influence on her.
And it's nice to hear me talk about a future. I didn't have one. There's no future in those pills. Those pills don't love you. That Coke doesn't love you. That Molly doesn't love you, even though it feels like it. It doesn't love you. But I do. I love every single one of you. And please reach out. And that's basically about it I want to do. I don't want to sound long-winded and preachy. About a half hour is about all I got in me anyways. But day after tomorrow, maybe we can get some more people involved, but try to and if this stream is too late for people that are in there right now, call me. You got my number. Give me some feedback. Tell me when's a good time. If you want me to start the stream at like 11ish, because that's like lights out time, you just want to watch it before you go to sleep, before those meds kick in and knock your bitch ass out, like, let me know. And just this is a community, man. This is not just me. So from the bottom of my heart, I love you all, and I miss you, and I care. I really fucking do. And I miss you all so much. You have no idea what you've meant to my life. And you've given me my life back and my wife back. And there's no price on that. So thanks, and have a beautiful night. And
sleep well, don't let the bed bugs bite.
And know that you're loved and that you're cared for. Bye.